Hello, my fellow YouTube peasants. Welcome to episode 2 of Cartoon Character BeatDown. And if you don't know what that is, go to episode 1 for more information. That was Sterling Archer from Archer versus Stan Smith from American Dad. But today I shall be talking about the original and the spin-off. In a good way this time. Or, yeah, in a good way, because not many people like spin-offs, but with me it's kind of different. Anyways, you'll figure that out as the program goes along. Hell. There we are. Anyways, as I was saying, today's episode will be Brian Griffin from Family Guy versus Tim the Bear from The Cleveland Show, the spinoff of Family Guy. Now, these two have an awful lot in common. And yes, I'm counting the fact that both of them are full-grown animals. Brian doesn't look it, but he's actually 56 in dog years. And I really don't know how long Tim is, but he said that he was 4 and he looks 42 or 43, so I'm gonna say that in bear years he's 43. Yep, they're 43 in bear years apparently. Yeah, animal years are crazy. Anyways, moving on. Both Brian and Tim like to drink alcohol. Both of them like to smoke. And both of them are very judgmental at times. Nowadays, Brian has become an intellectual moron. What does that mean? Well, it means that he's smart and he's stupid at the same time, but it's not a very good combination. I have no idea when it started. Maybe it started in season 7. I don't know. Brian stopped being a good character a long time ago, folks, and it's time you started admitting it and stop watching and you're probably gonna stop watching Family Guy because that's one of your reasons for stopping. That's one of the reasons to stop watching Family Guy. It's just that for some odd reason, Brian's become this weird version of Quagmire. It's just all wrong. It doesn't even make sense. And don't even get me started on his hatred of Quagmire because that bullshit doesn't even make sense. That just has to be the dumbest angle that Family Guy has ever done to date, and it's still going. It's never ending. It's a stupid angle, but I'll get to that later. Now, if you watch the Cleveland Show, you'll notice that Tim the Bear kind of has an accent, and he's married to his wife Ariana the Bear, who likes to boss him around a lot, of course. And just like him, she has an accent. I could never really figure out if they were non-American or not, but whatever, that doesn't matter. Now, Tim the Bear is a rare type of bear because he lives in a house with his wife. Oh, and I can't forget about their son, Raymond, who was about 13, I believe. 14, I don't know. No, I think he's 15. He's in high school, but anyways, moving on. They live in a house, and not in the woods. They live in a house in the city, next to the Browns, which is Cleveland and Donna's mixed family. Again, if you watch the Cleveland Show. It's not mentioned that much in Family Guy, so just watch the Cleveland Show and you'll know what I'm talking about. Because Family Guy is an asshole to Cleveland and his family. I'll probably get to that in another video, but right now I'm talking about Tim the Bear. Anyways, Tim the Bear is a rare type of bear because he's afraid of the woods. Not really sure why though, because he was born in the woods. So why would he have a phobia of the woods? It doesn't make sense. I mean, he's a bear. Why would a bear be afraid of the woods? It just doesn't add up. I mean, at least Brian being an inside dog actually made sense. With Tim, that whole angle doesn't really seem to actually make any logical sense, but whatever. Now, Tim the Bear, unlike Brian, is actually a bit of a Jesus freak. He goes to church frequently. As for Brian, he's an atheist, and I don't care for atheists because, in my opinion, those type of people just find all types of excuses for not believing in God and believing in religion and believing that when they die, nothing happens and all that bull crap. And not all atheists are bad. It's just that they're not exactly my favorite type of people. But whatever. That never really made sense because I mean, think about it. Why would Brian not have why would Brian not have any reason to believe in God? Why would he not? I mean, there are certainly a lot of examples, but there are a lot of reasons to believe in God. That whole angle never made sense, and it was really stupid. But anyways, moving on. Nowadays, Brian is a sucky character, and Tim the Bear's character is no longer continued because the Griffian show was canceled. So, yeah, that whole thing was ridiculous. So, they don't really have a whole lot of combat experience. I mean, both of them do have experience holding guns. Brian more often than Tim because of the ridiculous and crazy adventures that him and Stewie go on from time to time. Technically, they don't count because they're non-canon, and by non-canon, I mean they don't tie in with the actual show itself, but technically it counts. Technically, it's just enough. Now, as we all know, Brian drives a Prius. I meant to say Brian drives a Prius, while Tim the Bear, and his wife don't. Oh wait, do they? Oh wait, yeah, they do have a car, but I don't know what type of car it is. It's not a Prius, that's for sure. But yeah. Also, at times, both Brian and Tim have known to show their wild side, aka have succumbed to their animal instincts. There was this one episode where Brian bit Peter, and after that, Peter was scared of him. And there was this one time when Tim the Bear killed an entire bus of famous people who were in a band. At least I believe they were famous. He was told to knock them out, but he killed them instead. Yeah. So yeah. Both of them aren't completely civilized. They can succumb to their wild side anytime. They can become complete animals anytime. Brian does it frequently. Tim, not so much. Tim seems like more of a human than Brian does. Also, I'm gonna go back to Brian now because for some odd reason it seems like that the Griffins don't even care about Brian anymore. It doesn't add up. The only person in that house who actually, well, sort of, who actually cares about Brian, and that's kind of faded away is Brian's so-called best friend, Stewie Griffian. Yes, that little moron. That little twerp, that little brat with the football head, who for some odd reason has a British accent, and is for some strange reason a genius. Sort of. I don't know. Stewie's just gotten dumber over time. I mean, Stewie's just gotten dumber over time, oddly enough. And now with him, they're playing more into his baby angle, which they should have done a while ago. But anyways, Brian can sometimes be a douchebag to Stewie and not be helpful at all. However, for Tim, he doesn't have just one friend that's a baby. He has multiple friends. Where either that or he just have three friends. I don't know. In the show, he only had 3 friends, and that was Cleveland, and Lester, and Hall. Yeah, Cleveland, Lester, and Hall. Ryan only has 1 friend, making his life very depressing. Now, Tim seems like a guy who likes to read books, but Brian seems like an intellectual douchebag who likes to criticize people about well, pretty much anything, going from religion all the way to politics, because Brian is politically correct. At least that's what his dumbass thinks that he is. Yeah, with all that, it's really hard to like Brian. It really is. But yeah. These two don't really have any remarkable skills whatsoever, to be honest. They're not very interesting. I mean, yeah, neither of them are all that interesting. Also, I should mention that while Tim's son is a stoner, Tim actually has more experience being a father than Brian, and is actually a better parent than Brian. A way better parent than Brian. And I should say that he doesn't abuse his wife. Because, well, actually, that's really because Tim is kind of scared of her, but that's a whole nother story. So yeah, that's about it. They don't. After that, they don't really have much in common. So, I'm gonna give this to Tim the Bear because, in my opinion, he's just a better character. If you like Tim the Bear too, then comment down below, leave a like, and don't forget to share and subscribe. Oh, and if you like Brian Griffin, well then, I just don't know what to say. I just don't know what to say to you. Shame on you. Anyways, this has been an episode of Cartoon Character Beatdown. Tune in next time. Again, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. This has been the King of BC. And goodbye, my fellow YouTube peasants.